This news break is brought to you by AMAC, Association of Mature American Citizens.
Flags at half-staff today at the White House. A long holiday weekend, by the way, coming up here for the president. Of course, he's always working, but he's going to Bedminster later today. Welcome back, everybody, to American Sunrise. I'm David Brody. Coming up, the gun debate. It's back. It really never went away. But when these school shootings happen, the liberals go right to the gun issue. And we're going to discuss possible solutions that do and do not involve gun safety. Talking about that in a moment. First, though, Terrence Bates standing by with the latest headlines from the Real America's Voice newsroom, sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
We're continuing to learn more about what may have motivated this week's shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis. We're also hearing from the father of 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel. Fletcher is one of 2 kids killed in that heinous attack.
Please remember Fletcher for the person he was and not the act that ended his life. Give your kids an extra hug and kiss today. We love you, Fletcher. You'll always be with us.
As for the continuing investigation into the attack, Minneapolis police and federal officials say the 23-year-old killer was familiar with the church and the school attached to it.
The shooter expressed hate towards almost every group imaginable. There appears to be only one group that the shooter didn't hate. One group of people who the shooter admired. The shooter idolized some of the most notorious school shooters and mass murderers in our country's history.
Meantime, while traveling the country, Vice President J.D. Vance touting President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, he spent part of the day Thursday with Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum in Wisconsin. The two visited a steel-making facility in La Crosse, Wisconsin, to highlight the bill's tax cuts for the middle class and its potential benefits for the U.S. steel industry. However, the vice president also found himself talking about crime in this country and the attack there in Minneapolis.
This happens too much in our country. And if you look, we really do have, I think, a mental health crisis in the United States of America. We take way more psychiatric medication than any other nation on earth. And I think it's time for us to start asking some very hard questions about the root causes of this violence. And I'm going to be part of that, and the First Lady and the President are going to be part of that. But that's going to be an American conversation that we're going to have together.
The vice president also used the stage to offer up a public prayer for the victims and the families. That's a quick check of your headlines. Now, let's get a quick check of your national forecast from our friends over at Weather Nation.
Thanks, Terrence. We're tracking some nice and mild temperatures as we get into this long Labor Day weekend. A lot of 70s and 80s on the board today. Still have some 90s down into Houston, Orlando, Miami, and across the desert Southwest. Plus in the Northwest, some highs in the upper 80s today. We are going to be tracking some heavy downpours that may cause some Labor Day travel delays down across the Central Gulf and back across the Front Range of Colorado. Plus, some storms are going to be possible up into the Northeast. So look out for some travel delays in areas like Boston, New Orleans, Orlando, and Denver as we get into those afternoon hours. We're still going to see some heavy rainfall across the Plain States and down towards the southeast as we get into the Labor Day weekend, with lingering showers out across portions of the Lone Star State as well. But a cold front is working its way through the East Coast, and that's going to bring us nice and mild temperatures to end that Labor Day weekend. A lot of 70s and 80s on the board for both Saturday and on Sunday. So I hope you have a nice long Labor Day weekend. Back to you.
Up next, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey joining other Democrats in calling for gun control after the tragic shooting in his city. So will anything come of it? We'll take a look. Right now, though, a quick look at this day in history. It was on this day in 2005 that Hurricane Katrina made its second and third landfalls as a Category 3 hurricane. The storm devastated much of the Gulf Coast from Louisiana all the way over to the Florida Panhandle. It killed more than 1,830 people, along with causing over $115 billion in damage. Video like this will be etched in the national consciousness forever. We're back with more American Sunrise after this.